भयो कोलाहलु अवधति सुनि नृपराव रसोरु राम सुनि नृपराव रसोरु विपुल विहग वन परे उनसी मानहु पुलिस कठोर सिया पर रामचंद्र की जय शरण। ओ प्राण कटत भयो भुआलो ओ मनि विहीन जन व्याकुल व्यालो राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम। इंद्रि सकल विकल भय भारी जनु सर सर सज बनु बिनु बारी कौसल्या नृपुति कमलाना रवि कुल रवि अन्धय जिय जाना पुरधरि धीर राम महतारी बोलि बचन समय अनुसारी नाथ समुझि मन करिय विचारु राम वियोग पयोनि अपारु करन धार तुम अवध जहाजु चढ़ेउ सकल प्रिय पथिक समाजु धीरज धरियत पाई अपारु नाहिद बूढ़ी सबु परिवार जो जिय धरिय विनय बिया मोरी राम लखन सिय मिलहि बहोरी राम सिय राम जय जय राम राम सिय राम जय जय राम। प्रिया बचन मृदु सुनत नृपो चितयो आँखि उघारियो राम चितयो आँखि उघारी कलहत मीन मलिन जनु सींचल शीतल बारी सियावर रामचंद्र की जय शरण। ओ धरि धीर ज्योति बैठ भुआरो
जाए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला।
Live on 101.7 FM, night 52 of Ramayana 108 from the Chinmaya Ashram, Calcutta Road, number 1, Magbeen Village in Kuva. We say a special thank you to all our corporate sponsors for making this broadcast possible. T.N. Ramnath and Company Limited, The Little Store, Charan's Bookstores, Bidesi Transport Limited, CP's Plumbing and Hardware, Amar and Avinash Supermarket and Variety Store, Sudesh Sankar Hardware, and Narendra General Hardware and Construction Company Limited. And now, Swami Prakashananda.
अर्धांगिनी बढ़ेगी तो केवल मकान तक, परिवार सब लोग चलेंगे स्मशान तक, बेटा भी हक निभाएगा तो अग्निदान तक। इससे तो आगे, इससे तो आगे भजन ही है साथी, हरि के भजन बिन अकेला रहेगा।
इससे तो आगे भजन ही है साथी, हरि के भजन बिन अकेला रहेगा।
इससे तो आगे भजन ही है साथी, हरि के भजन बिन अकेला रहेगा।
इससे तो आगे भजन ही है साथी, हरि के भजन बिन अकेला रहेगा।
जीवन ये 2 दिन का मेला रहेगा, कायम न जग का मेला रहेगा।
जीवन ये 2 दिन का मेला रहेगा,
कायम जग का झमेला
रहेगा।
जीवन ये 2 दिन का मेला रहेगा, कायम न जग का जमेला रहेगा।
जीवन ये 2 दिन का मेला रहेगा,
कायम जग का
झमेला रहेगा।
इससे तो आगे भजन ही है साथी, हरि के भजन बिन अकेला रहेगा।
इससे तो आगे भजन ही है साथी, हरि के भजन बिन अकेला रहेगा।
इससे तो आगे, इससे तो आगे सीताराम चरण रति मोरे
श्री राम जय जय राम
अनुदिन बरहु अनुग्रह तोरे
श्री राम जय जय राम
सीताराम चरण रति मोरे
श्री राम जय राम
अनुदिन बढ़ऊ अनुग्रह तोरे
श्री राम जय राम
राम कथा के तेई अधिकारी
श्री राम जय राम
जिनके सत्संगति अति प्यारी
श्री राम जय राम
राम चरण बारिज जब देखा
श्री राम जय राम
तब निज जन्म सफल कर लेखा
राम जय राम
मोरे तुम प्रभु गुरु पितु माता
श्री राम जय राम
जाऊं कहा तजी पद जल जाता
श्री राम जय राम
कोमल चित अति दीन दयाला
श्री राम जय राम
कोमल चित अति दीन दयाला
श्री राम जय राम
कारण बिनु रघुनाथ कृपाला
श्री राम जय राम
बिनु सत्संग विवेक न होई
राम जय राम
राम कृपा बिनु सुलभ न सोई
श्री
राम
जय राम
माँ कहूँ मैं अनुभव अपना
श्री राम जय राम
सत हरि भजन जगत सब सपना
श्री राम जय राम
सत हरि भजन जगत सब सपना
श्री राम जय राम
सत हरि भजन जगत सब सपना
श्री राम जय राम
श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय गजाननम भूतगणादिसेवितम् कपितजम्बू फलसारभक्षणम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणम् नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजम् या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ वस्त्रावृता या वीणा वरदन्नवन्दित करा या श्वेत पद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभृतिभिः देवै सदा वन्दिता सामां पातु सरस्वती भगवती सामां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेष चान्यापहा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः लोकाभिरामं रणरङ्गधीरं राजीवनेत्रं रघुवंशनाथं कारुण्यरूपं करुणाकरं तं श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं नरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
राजा राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
राजा राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
मंगल भवन मंगलहारी प्रभु सुदशरथ अजित बिहारी
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
रघुकुल रीति सदा चली आई प्राण जाए बरु बचन न जाए
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय
पद आज है राम निवासु, तह ये दिवस जहाँ भानु प्रकाशु।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
नहीं कलिका रमना भगति विवेकु, राम नाम अवलंबन हेतु।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
राम एकता पसती यतारी, नाम को दिखल कुमति सुधारी।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
कर्म प्रधान विश्व कर राखा, जो जस करई सो तस फल चाखा।
श्री राम जय राम,
जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
काहू न को सुख दुख कर दाता, निज कृत कर्म भोग सब भ्राता।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
श्री राम
जय राम, जय जय राम।
होई सोई जो राम रचि राखा, वो करि तर्क बढ़ावे साखा।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
गुरु बिनु भवनिधि तरई न कोई, जो बिरंची कर सम होई।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
बोलो राम राम राम, सीता राम राम राम।
राजा राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
राजा
राम राम राम, सीता राम राम राम।
राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
बोलो राम राम राम, सीता राम राम राम।
त्यावर रामचंद्र की जय। Okay, so we are in Ayodhya Kaanda. When we left it last night, we saw that Sumantru, the minister of the great king Dasharatha Maharaj, had returned to Ayodhya very reluctantly. Nishad Raj had to help him also to come back to Ayodhya. Who wants to come and bring such bad news to the king and to all the people of Ayodhya that Bhagwan Ram, Sita ji, Lakshmana, they are not going to come back. They will not be back for 14 years. That news he did not want to bring, and he himself became very helpless. And then Nishad, lifting him, bringing him up, helped him to reach Ayodhya. And then, when he got there, he saw King Dasharatha Ji Maharaj now in the condition in which he was. Dasharatha Ji Maharaj was on the floor as though. And he tried many ways to console the king. And then, after consoling the king, also asked, "Where is my Ram? Where is my Sita? Where is my Lakshmana?" The king asked like that. And the best that one could do in such situations, Sumantru did also. He started relating to Dasharatha Ji Maharaj all what happened on the first day we stayed on the Tamasa Tir, on the banks of Tamasa. And next day we went to Prayag, had snan in Gangaji and this and that. And then Bhagwan Ram wanted to cross this Ganga, and so he asked that Kevat. Like that he started relating this story. And that was the last Bhagwan that I saw of Bhagwan. Like this is now after 152. Sumantru is trying to explain to Dasharatha Ji Maharaj. तेहि अवसर रघुबर रुख पाई
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
केवत पार ही नाव चलाई
श्री राम जय जय राम
रघुकुल तिलक चले ही बाटी
श्री राम जय जय राम
देखऊं ठाढ़ कुस निस धरी छाती
श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय
जय रघुराम जय सीताराम श्यावर रामचंद्र की ते अवसर रघुबर रुख पाई केवट पार ही नाव चलाई. Kevat took them across, knowing that Bhagwan Ram wanted to go. Raghukula Tilaka Chale Ehivant. In this way, O dear king, this Rama left even me. And Dekhau Thar Kulis Thari Chati. When he left, as though a lance had struck me in the heart. Sumantru explains to Dasharatha Ji Maharaj, Sunata Bachanas Sunatahi Naranahu, Asuta Bachanas Sunatahi Naranahu, Pareo Tharani Urataruna Dahu. Hearing the words of this Sumantru, now Dasharatha Ji Maharaj again collapsed on the floor. Sumantru had lifted him up and he sat up and he was listening to all of this story. Tarap Talap Pat Bishama Moha Mana Mapa Maja Manahu Meena Kahu Byapa. He fell like a fish on the ground without, when that fish doesn't have water, ityadi, like that. Kari Bilapa Saba Rovahi Rani, all the queens also, they lamented profusely. Mahabipina Kimi Jai Bakhani. Mahabipati Kimi Jai Bakhani. Who can describe the great sorrow which all of them faced there? Prana Kantagata Vaya Valu Tulsidashi. When this time, when Dasharatha Ji Maharaj fell on the ground, his life came to his throat. It is said that when one is dying, that life comes to the throat. Prana. Manibihina janu vyakula vyalu. Like a snake that had lost its jewel from its crown. Indri sakala. Bikala bhai bhari. All his indriya, senses and all, they started becoming numb. Janu sara. Sarasij banu binu bari. Like lotuses without water. They could not be sustained in all his senses and all that. Kausalya Nripadik Malala. Kausalya ji. I spoke about Kausalya ji previously. Na? She is one of those most wonderful characters, human beings in this Ramayana. Very perceptive, very aware, in a very subtle way about all things. All of them were there, all the queens were there, everybody was there. Kausalya, Nripadik Malana, seeing him, the sorrow of the king. Rabi Kula Rabi Athayau Yajna. She knew that this crest jewel of the Raghukula, Dasharath Maharaj, had come to the last part of his life, as though the sun was setting for Dasharath Maharaj. She knew this already. Uradharithir Ram Mahatari. And that's Tulsidas ji, when he mentions Kausalya, how he mentions Rama Mahatari, the mother of Rama. I told them because she could not be any ordinary human being to be the mother of Rama himself. Boli Bachana, she spoke. She mustered up some strength and spoke Bachana Samaya Anupsari, according to the occasion that is required. Nath Samuji Mana Kariya Bicharu. Please, she told to Dasharath Ji Maharaj. Now, although knowing that this sun of the solar dynasty is setting, although knowing that, she still tells, seeing the need of the moment, which is the wise thing. Kariya Vicharu, think, Ram Abhiyog Payodhi Aparu. Separation from Ram, this is an analogy. Separation from Ram is like a vast ocean. All the people of Ayodhya are feeling that sorrow of separation from Ram. It's like a vast ocean. Karanadharatum avadha jahaju. And this Awadh, Ayodhya, is a boat. Everybody is in that boat. All the people who are suffering the pangs of separation from Rama. Ayodhya is the boat, and you are the boatman. Charyo sakala priya pathika samaju. All of them are in this boat for which you are the boatman. Dhiraju thariya ta paya paru. If you hold strength in your heart, everybody will cross over this sorrow, this ocean of sorrow, which they are all facing. Nahita burihi sabu parivaru. Otherwise, everybody will drown in this sorrow, ocean of sorrow. Jao jia thariya vinaya piya mori Rama lakhana siya milahi bahori. And if you stay and you keep everybody, you will get to see Rama again. Kausalya tells, Priya Bachan Amridu Sunatan Dripu. When he heard the words of Kausalya ji, Chitayau Akhi Mukhari, he opened his eyes. But the words were not enough to sustain him. Dasharath ji Maharaj. Talapatmina Malina Janu Si Chata Sitala Bari. He was like a fish that is on dry land, and somebody just sprinkled some water like this on the fish. That water is not enough to sustain him, you know. Dharidhiraj utibay tabualu. He now pulled himself together a little bit and sat up. Kahu sumantru. Kaha Rama kripalu. Where is this most compassionate Rama? Kaha Lakhana. Kaha Rama tanehi. You see, he says, where's Ram? Where's Lakshman? Where's Ram? Only one thing is there in his mind, that is Ram. This is the statement. Where's Ram? This compassionate Ram. Where's Lakhan? Where's Ram? Again, he like that he's asking Ram second time. Gapriya putra vadu vaitehi. Where is this? Daughter-in-law of my son's wife, Vaidehi. Bilapatarao bikala bahumati. And like this, lamenting over and over in so many various ways. Bhai juga sarisa sirati narati. That night seemed like a yuga, like a whole eon. Tapasa andha, and this is where this very famous story comes in. This is all mention Tulsidaji makes. What is that? One line, huh? Tapasa andha sapasuti ai kausalyahi. Kausalyahi sabakatha sunai. He remembered the curse that the ascetic had given to him, and he told the whole story to Kausalya. And what curse and what story? Tulsidaji doesn't write another word. Ends. This is there in Valmiki Ramayana, you'll have to go there, where in his young age he had shot that little boy Ramkumar. And the father of that Ramkumar gave him sharp. Just like we are dying now from separation from our son. Now you will also die from separation from your son, like that. This is his story, Shravan Kumar's story. And those people who read the Jwala Prasad Ramayana, Jwala Prasad ji has taken that katha from the Valmiki Ramayana, and he has, which is written in Sanskrit. He has put it in this same language in Chaupai form, and he has inserted it into the Ramayana. And it is not Tulsi Krit Ramayana, it is Jwala Prasad Ramayana. Tulsi Krit Ramayana is what we are reading here. People get mixed up with all of these names and all. Let me just clarify a little bit of name and all before we move on. What we are reading here is Tulsi Krit Ramayana. Tulsi Krit Ramayana, which is proper name is called Ramcharita Manas. And why is it called Tulsi Krit? Tulsi Krit means it is composed by Tulsidas. This Tulsi Krit Ramayana is also called Mool Ramayana, because these are the actual words that were written by Tulsidas. Mool Ramayana. Mool means root. These are the root words that were written. After root comes shoot and fruit and all other things. So many people have added many things after and all of that sort of thing. So one such thing is the Jwala Prasad Ramayana, where many more verses are added, with stories taken from everywhere, where Tulsidaji mentions some story. Now see, all he's saying that sharp which the tapas gave to me. That is all. So in Jwala Prasad thing, but when people are reading, they will not know what he is talking about. So he goes there and takes it and inserts it. So that Ramayana is bigger, and not Mool. It's not Tulsi Krit. It is something else. But it has become very popular also, because people don't have to go. Now, you don't have to go and look for the story in Valmiki Ramayana, which is in Sanskrit also. Jwala Prasad ji has put it in Awadhi inside there. So he said, that is easy. I don't have to go and look. Anything we say is easy is also a sign of laziness. Oh, anyway, so Dasharath Maharaj now told the whole story to Kausalya. That is all. Kausalya hi sab katha sunai. He told everything to Kausalya what had happened. It appears as though he had never told her before. From the presentation here, that this tapasvi had given him a sharp and all that. This is before he got married and all. He was a young person at the time. Bhayo bikala baranata itihasa ram rahit digajivana asa. It means, telling the story, Dasharath Maharaj, he suffered tremendously, tremendous agitation in his mind, and Ram rahit. And he said, he was thinking to himself, living without Ram, fie on that life. Fie on my life. Dhig word is coming, dhig is Sanskrit. Means fie. I don't know how you'll say it any other way. Useless is my life without Ram. Or hoping to live. Useless is the hope to live without Ram. Like that. Fie on that hope to live without Ram. So tanu rakhi karab mai kaha jehi na prem panu mor nibaha. And we had seen where he had asked for the boon in Manushatrupa Katha, that without Ram, he will not be able to live. And he says, now, fire on this life that Rama has left as though. Now, what is the use of keeping this body and keeping this life? Ha Raghunandan prana pirite, tuma binu jiyata bahut dina bite. Oh Prabhu, oh Rama, living without you for many days has passed. Tuma binu jiyata bahut dina bite. Many days. Ha Janaki Lakhana ha Raghuvar. Like that, ha-ha-kar means screams of lamentation. Again and again he went on. Ha pitu hit chit chatak jaladhar. Rama is like that cloud which the chatak bird looks at. And I am the father and Rama is the son, but he is like that cloud which the bird never takes its eyes off. Like that, lamenting in Tulsidas he describes. A very, very famous Doha. Ram Ram kahi Ram kahi, Ram Ram kahi Ram, O Ram 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 kahi Ram. तनु परिहरि रघुबर बिरहा, राव गयौ सुर धाम सिया पर रामचंद्र जी जय शरणम।
पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। सिया रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम।
Ram Ram kahi Ram kahi, Ram Ram kahi Ram. 6 times he said the name Ram. And Tanu Parihari, he dropped that body, Dasharathji Maharaj, Raghuvara Biraha, from separation from Bhagwan Ram, because of separation from Bhagwan Ram. And Rao Gayau Suratham, and he went to Indralok, Suratham, like that. And this verse, people go on making so many commentaries about this. Why is said Rama 6 times and all of that? You can go on reading and do your research and all that. The most common reason is that his prana was moving up the 6 chakras, and each time he was saying Ram, 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 like that. In the body there, these chakras and all. And then one more very famous reason people quote and say is Rama had gone for 6 days when this happened. 6 days, and for each one of those days, he said Ram, 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 and he died. Dasharathji Maharaj left that body. And this is why Dasharathji Maharaj is so well praised in this Ramayana. What makes him great? What makes him a unique devotee, bhakta? What makes him a unique jiva? Tulsidas describes in the very next line. Jiyana marana phalu dasarath pava, and anek amal jasu pava.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Jiyat Ram vidhu badan nihari, Ram birah kari maranu sawara.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Jiyat Ram बदन निहारा, राम बिरह करे मरन सवारा।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
बोलो राम राम राम, सीता राम राम राम।
राजा राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
राजा राम राम राम, सीता राम
राम
राम।
राम। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। जियन मरण फलु दशरथ पावा. In life and death he received the results of his, or he received the result of both life and death. And aneka amal jasu pawa, and his name became famous in so many worlds. Jiyata Rama, how? Jiyata Rama vidu badanu nihara. While living, every day he looked at Ram. Every day he looked at Ram while living. And then Ram biraha kari maranu savara. And separation from Ram, he died. Means without Ram, he did not live. And this is what makes him famous. And this is what I told previously. He is the most famous example of a devotee, one who cannot live without Bhagwan. If Bhagwan goes, he goes like that. This is what makes him so unique in Ramayana. Suradhama Gaya means he went to Indralok. Soka bikala sava rovani. Rovahi, Rani, all the queens now. Soka bikala sava rovahi, Rani, all of them lamented so profusely. Rupa silu bala teja bakhani. And they spoke about the king's beauty, his character, his power, his resplendence. These are things people speak about when somebody goes, oh, he was such a good man, he did this, did that, like that. But here they spoke of these four things. Tulsidas, the queens recounted his rupa, his great beauty. Silo, rupa is to be translated as beauty. And in Hindi, there is no handsome for men and beauty for women and all that. All is same. In English language, that is the only. Karahi vilap, aneka prakara, they lamented in so many various ways. Parahi bhumi, talabarahi bara, and fell on the earth again and again. Pilapatahi, bilak, das, arudasi, all the servants, dasi means maid servants and everybody in the palace also falling on the earth and weeping so profusely. Ghar ghar rudana karahi purvasi. In every home in Ayodhya, there was only signs of sorrow everywhere. Athayavu aju bhanu kula bhanu. Today, the son of the solar dynasty has set. Dharma avadi guna rupani thanu. And he was the very boundaries of all propriety and goodness and dharma, niti and all such things. That Dasharatha Maharaj, Gari sakala kai kai dehi, and everybody cursed kai kai. All the people of Ayodhya. Nayana bihi nakina jaga jehi. She has made now, Nayana bihi nakina jaga jehi. She has made the world blind by taking away Dasharatha Maharaj. Ehi vidhi bilapata. Raini Bihani, Aye Sakala Mahamuni Jnani. And then all Mahamuni Jnani, everybody came there, including the great Vasishta Ji Maharaj. He's the Kula Guru. And the news reached fast that the king has died. And Vasishta Ji Maharaj came there. Taba Vasishta Muni Samaya Sama. Kahi Aneka Itihas. Vasishta Maharaj told about scriptures, all itihas from scriptures, history from scriptures. Sok nevareu sabahikara, trying to remove the sorrow of everybody. Nija Vijnana Prakasa, by his great wisdom and knowledge. Tela Nava Bhari, Nripatanu Rakha, and the sage made them make a boat filled with oil, a boat shaped coffin, you'll see, filled with oil. And they placed the king's body in that. Tulsidaji in Quarter Chaupai says the whole thing. Tail and nav, a boat of oil, a boat filled with oil. Bhari, and filled. Nripa, Tanu, Rakha, and they placed the king's body in that. There's a Quarter Chaupai, all that. And then Dut Bolai, Bahuri Asa Bhasha. He called some messengers. And Thava Ubegi Bharat Pahi, Jahu, Nripa Sudhi Katahu, Kahahu, Jani Kahu. He called some messengers and he told them, you all run quickly and call Bharat. But he gives specific instructions. See, Etanei Kaheu, Bharat Sana Jai, Gura Bolai Patayau Do Bhai. Just tell Bharat that the Guru has sent for you. Two brothers. Don't tell Bharat anything about father died and all that. Tell Bharat that Guru has sent for you. Suni Muni Ayasud Thavana Thaye Chale Beg Bara Baji Lajaye. This is a very strange thing. From Ayodhya to where Bharat was, you will have to think about some explanation for it and all. There is explanation for everything. Just first you have to understand that. From where Ayodhya is to where Bharat was is a long way. And in this account of Tulsidashi here, they ran there. They did not go on horse or anything. They ran. Chale bega barabaji lajaye. They ran so fast that they could put horses to shame. Ayasu dhavana dhaye. These pure, all Sanskrit words only. To run. Dhav in Sanskrit means to run. They ran. Now, Bharat, Tulsidashi shifts. They are running. But it will still take some time to run. Tulsidashi shifts the attention to where Bharat was there now. Then, Anaratha avada arambheu jabate. Since all these bad things started happening in Awadh, in Ayodhya. Now Bharat is being introduced. Remember, when everything happened there, Bharat was not there. His name also did not. Just Kaikeyi said that she wants Bharat to be the king and all of that sort of thing. But anyway, from Bharat's side, now Tulsidashi is describing his state there. Since all of these things started happening in Ayodhya, Anarathu means undesirable things. Then, Avadha arambheu jabate kusaguna hohi bharata kahu tabate. Since that day, all sorts of bad signs had been coming to Bharat. This is how we say in Trinidad, bad signs. Bad sign doesn't mean a sign that is spelled wrongly on the road. Bad sign means evil presentiments. Like that. So many, Kusaguna it is called. Dekhirati bhayanaka sapana. In the night he saw terrible dreams. And jagi karahi katukoti kalpana. And when he woke, his mind went imagining 100 million different things, like that. Biprajavai, and then what he did in response, what Bharat had done in response there when all these things, bad signs started coming to him. A very good response, You should see this. Biprajavai, he went and he fed the Rishi Munis and all. Gave food to them. Dehi dinner, dana, and gave to them dakshina and that. Shiva Abhishek Karahi Vidinana, and he did Abhishek to Lord Shiva. And then Magahi Hridaya Mahe Samanai Kusala Matu Pitu Parijana Bhai. And after doing the worship of Lord Shiva, he asked for Lord Shiva that his mother, father, and all people in Ayodhya and brothers should all be fine. That is why he did not ask for that he should be fine. But the response is, if there is something agitating the mind, and see, it is an opportunity to do some sort of worship, some sort of puja, some sort of thing, that to his own mind, peace may not come, but it gives an opportunity for the person to do some good karma, isn't it? So he uses even a bad situation of his mind being agitated, having bad dreams, seeing bad signs, all sorts of things. He uses that to do some good karma. That is all. And then ask for their benefit. Wonderful line Tulsidas ji writes, Ehi vidhi sochat bharata mana dhavana pahuche ai. And like this Bharat thinking and doing there, the fellows, the messengers, the dutas who Vasishta Maharaj had sent, they reached. Dhavana pahuche ai. They ran and reached there. Guru anusasana shravana suni chale ganesh manai. And Bharat, hearing the orders of the Guru, Bharat worshipping Lord Ganesh, left fast. But because his mind was agitated, Eka nimesha varasha samajai, he could not reach Ayodhya fast enough. Every moment was like an eon for him. Vidhi Bharata Nagara Nirai. He reached now like this, Ayodhya. Khagamriga haya gaya jahina joy Ram biyoga kuroga bigoye. When he reached there, Ayodhya, came close to Ayodhya, Tulsidas describes all of these things in a lot of detail. He started seeing so many bad signs in Ayodhya also. What bad signs are all? Bad signs, I think everywhere will be different. Should not agitate your mind with bad signs. If you want your mind to be agitated, you go and read the two topais are there. Tulsidas gives examples. Khagamriga haya gaya jahi nagara nari nara nipata dukhari. He saw everybody in Ayodhya with sunken faces, sorrow on everybody's face. Manahu sabani saba sampati hari. As though everybody had lost their wealth. Of course they did. They lost their wealth of Rama. You see? He saw sorrow on everybody's face. This is Bharat reaching there now. And Tulsidas describes in 158. See this. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Purjana milahi na kai kachu gavai jogar. Purjana milahi na kai kachu gavai johar hi Bharat kusala puchna sakahi bhaya vishad man mahi siyam. Purjana milahi na kahi kachu. Bharat, the people of Ayodhya, none of them met Bharat, nor did he meet any of them. He just went there. They did not ask anything or gavahi joharahi jahi. They just quietly did pranam to Bharat and they went. Bharat kusala puchi na sakahi. Bharat could not ask anybody also how they are doing or any such thing. How they are doing means how are you? He could not ask. Why? Bhaya Vishada manamahi. His mind was full with sorrow also, because seeing sorrow in everybody's face. And fear also. Fear what? That I have been having all these bad signs. I don't want to hear the bad news. That is the fear, like that. So he did not ask anybody he could not ask anybody anything. Haat baat nahi jai nihari, janu pura disi lagi davari. As though fire had spread on all sides of the city. Then the animals, the birds, everything looking so gloomy in Ayodhya. Everybody's face full of sorrow. And Bharatji hearing all of these bad, seeing all of these bad signs everywhere and all of that. And Tulsidaji in the midst of that thing now, in desert also, desert rose grows now. Avat sutta suni Kaikaya nandini
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Hare Shira Bikula Jal Roha Chandini
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Saji Arati Mudit Uthi Dhai
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Karhi Bheti Bhavan Le Aayi
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Jaya Raghu Ram
Jaya Raghu Ram
Jaya Sita Ram
Jaya Sita Ram
Syavar Ramachandra ki jai. Everywhere there is gloom, all pervasive in Ayodhya. And in the midst of that, Avata Sutta Suni, Kaikaya Nandini, Kaikeyi, when she heard that her son had come, Harashi Ravikula Jala Ruha, with great joy, she got up and Saji Arati Mudita Uti Dhai, and she ran with a well decorated arati, means thali, to do arati. Dwarehi bheti, met him at the entrance, and Bhavanale ai, she brought him to her palace. Bharata dukhita parivaruni hara. Seeing the gloom on Bharat's face, because everywhere he was seeing gloom, and he was having all of these bad signs. Seeing the gloom on his face, Manhu tuhina, banaja, banu, mara, like some frost has come down on lotuses. Kaikeyi harshit ehi bhanti, manahu mudit davalai kirati. Tulsidaji's description is strong of Kaikeyi also. Why the reason is, Tulsidaji doesn't like anybody who brings any sorrow to Ram. That is the idea. And so, one more reason is that we'll see that coming up soon. Kaikeyi was happy. Nobody in Ayodhya was happy except Kaikeyi. And how? Like to his description. Manahu mudit davalai kirati. Kirati means a bhil woman, what you call tribal woman in the forest, sitting happily watching the whole forest burn. Which forest? The forest which she just lit on fire. And she happily overlooking like that. Sutahi sasoch dekhi manu mare puchati naihar kusala hamare. Now she, look here. Seeing the gloom on the face of Bharat, she did not ask Bharat, Bharat, what happened to you? What she asked? Actually, if she asks Bharat, what happened to you, the answer will come, because Bharat will say, well, I'm seeing everybody miserable here. She did not ask that. So how is everybody there in my home? She is asking there. You see the lines, huh? Nehar. Nehar means my ancestral home, that place. How is everybody there? Sakala kusala kahi Bharat sunai. Bharat said, everybody's fine. Finish. Everybody's fine. His reply also. Everybody is fine. Quarter of the chopper. Puchi, nija kulak, kusala, balai. But then he asked, how is everybody here? He asked. Kahu kaha tat, kaha sab mata. Where is my father? Where are all my mothers? Bharat is asking. Quickly, he brought the topic here because she diverted the topic there. In quarter of a chopai only he takes. To bring, what happened here? How is everybody here? Where is my father? Where are my other mothers? Kaha siya Ram? Where is Sita and Ram? Lakshmana Priya Bhrata, my loving brother Lakshman. Where is Lakshmana? Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram,
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram,
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Suni Sutta Vachana Sneha Maya, Kapat Neer Bhari Naina, Bharat Shravana Man Sool Sama, Papini Boli Ben Siyavar
रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम सीताराम सियावर रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम सीताराम सियावर रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम सीताराम
तात बात में सकल सवारी भय मंथरा सहाय बिचारी श्री राम
जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
कछुक काज विधि बीच बिगारे भूपति सुरपति पुरप गुपारे श्री
राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम Suni Sutta Bachana Sanehamaya. Where is my Ram? Where is my Sita? Hearing this type of words. Sanehamaya means words so filled with so much of affection from Bharat. Where is the Rama, Sita? Where is my loving brother Lakshmana? My father, my mothers, where are they? So Suni Sutta Bachan, hearing these words of her son, filled with so much of love. Kapata neer bhari nain. Kapata neer means crocodile tears. What are crocodile tears? False tears. Huh? False tears. False tears started coming down from her eye. Kaikai. Bharata Shravana Mana Sula Sama Papini Boli Bain. And she said words to Bharat that were like arrows that struck him. And Tulsidas said, what is it? Ruthless description. Papini word he uses also. Strong words. Boli. Then, Tat Bat Mai Sakala Sawari. She doesn't see. Look here. What is the most urgent news in Ayodhya? The most urgent news in Ayodhya is the king is Dead. So if anybody has any real genuineness in their heart, the first thing you will say is the king is dead. But no wonder that Tulsidaji goes on telling all sorts of bad words about her. Tat baat mai sakala sawari. My dear son, I have made everything fine. Baat mai sakala sawari. I have prepared everything perfectly. I have prepared everything properly. Means I did everything properly, like that. Bhai mantra sahaya bichari. And mantra also helped me. Mantra helped for me to prepare everything perfectly. No news of the king dead yet, Then, kachuka kala biti beach bigareu. But in between, Brahmaji made one little upset. This upset is not so important in my big, but that's how the presentation is. You have to see the thing in its original language, then you get this type of feeling. But I prepared the whole thing well, everything. I put everything in place. But in between, Brahmaji made one little upset. So the important thing for her is that she put everything in place. What is the little upset? Bhupati Surapati Purapagu Dharyu. The king has gone to Indralok. That is a little upset. The king has gone. A terrible thing. So anyway, Sunata Bharat Bhaye Bibasa Bishada. That Bharat, hearing this thing, was so overwhelmed with grief. Janu Sahameu Karike Hari Nada. Like when some young elephant has heard the sound of a roaring lion. Tata Tata Ha Tata Pukari. Pare Bhumi Tala Vyakula Bhari. Tat, tat, he cried out. Tat means his father, like that. And collapsed on the ground. Chalatana dekhana payavu tohi. He could not move or talk or do anything. Then, after catching a little bit of strength, Tat narama saupe. Chalatana dekhana payavu tohi. Then, you left, and in your time of leaving, I could not get to see you. He said to his father, and more important now, see how the first thing is Dasharatha Maharaj has passed. So if he's going to address, oh, you left without me seeing you at your time of leaving. But Bharat's heart is with Bhagwan. But still the most pressing thing in Ayodhya is the death of Dasharatha Maharaj. So he tells that first. Then second thing, Tatna Rama Saupeu Mohi. You left without entrusting me to Ram, without putting me in Ram's charge. How could you leave like that? For Bharat did nothing but Ram. Bahuri dheer thari uthe sambhari. Somehow he caught his strength. Kahu pitu maran hetu mahtari. He asked his mother, how did my father die? How did my father die? Suni sutta bachana kahati kai maramu pachi janu mahura. Then she told also, as though opening another wound and putting poison inside of there. Adi hute sab apani karani kutila katod mudita mana bharani. She told everything from beginning to end. And when Bharat heard this thing, भरत ही बिसरे पितु मरण सुनत राम बन गानो राम सुनत राम बन गान हेतु अपना जानी जिया थकित रहे धरि मौन सिया पर रामचंद्र
जी की जय शरणम पावन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय
सियावर रामचंद्र
जी की
जय शरणम
शरणम
Bharatai Bisareu Matu Maran. When he heard the whole story, what is that? Kai told from beginning to end. That's what Tulsidaji said. The words? Kutilakato Muditamana Bharani. Adite Adihu Te Saba Apani Karani. From the beginning, all what she did. She told the whole story. And she is telling as though it is all a good thing which she. It's a very interesting thing about life and the world also. We will relate what we did and we'll think that is such a wonderful thing, and the other person who is listening. अच्छा ठीक है फिर then what? The other person is not impressed at all. We think it is good. That shows that a lot of kartritva bhav is there. So it's like kartritva, strong doership. So she told all which she did from the beginning, and requested the two boons, and Rama went to the forest, and you should be the king, and she told everything, now plainly. Fair? When he heard this thing, now he forgot totally about his father dying. Bharatahi bisareo pitu maran. He forgot totally about Dasharath. Sunata Rama bana gone. And hearing from her that Bhagwan Ram has gone to the forest. Hetu apa napau Janiji, and knowing that he is the cause. This is what he thought now. I am the cause for Bhagwan Ram. Thakita rahe thari maun. He became like stone, unable to move or speak. Thakit, still, he could not do a thing. Now the whole sorrow has come down on Bharat's head now, thinking that he is the cause for Rama going to the forest. But this Kausalya has done all of this because of him. And nothing could have brought more sorrow to Bharat than this thing, that I am the cause for Bhagwan Ram to be exiled. He took this on himself now, and this will lead to great sorrow. So our number 60 is here, and very Ayodhya Kaanda, whole thing exciting actually. Interesting, exciting parts are coming up now. Ram Bharat Milap will be there. Ram Bharat Milap, a tremendous portion of this Ayodhya Kaanda. Now, and there are so many wonderful things to think about. Okay, we will see that. So Ram Bharat Milap, Bharat will go to meet Bhagwan Ram in the forest. That will not happen in one day. It's a long portion. Okay. Today's Doha chanting was done by Pandit Bisram and Vishala and Tara and group and Shivan drumming. And we want to say a special thank you to all of them for coming and chanting Dasha Doha. And tomorrow's satsang will be at the Pranavananda Ashram in Bokaro village. Pranavananda Ashram, you know? You drive into Bokaro from the southern main road here, and maybe the first street on your right side is called Temple Street. You drive into Temple Street and you will find the ashram. Okay. Today's token will be received by Leandra. Token. Huh? This is the whole Ramayana. Now people are asking for this Ramayana. Hari Om. Enjoy. All right. Please have a look at our bookstall at the back. So many. Right thinking. It's a little book, but really, if you really want to find out about right thinking, clear thinking, proper thinking and all, you have to read the works of Swami Tejomayananji. I remember his presentation when I first heard Guruji in Toronto. His presentation was so crystal clear, spasht roop se, that after going home, I could recollect every sentence in the same order. Because of his clear, this point leads to this point, and then this point leads to this point, and this point leads to this point. That is his presentation is like that. You must see right thinking, this nice little book. Dharma, all about dharma. Big word with lot of scope. And Sharanagati, we'll see this. Sharanagati of Vibhishana. Sharanagati will come in Sundar Kaanda. Here's a little text on that. Means surrender to Bhagavan. Okay, our regular things are there. On Saturdays we have classes for children. You all can sign up your children to get the right sanskar. They will be taught Sanskrit and mantra chanting, bhajans and stories and so on. So that is from 9 to 11 on Saturdays. Today we have had a tremendous food fair, and a special thank you to all the sevaks and sevikas who came out to help. A lot of people came and helped. A lot of people told me they overate. But if you overeat one day, it's okay, no problem. If you overeat every day, there's a problem. But there are so many things to try today. And we apologize for people who could not get mishti doi. It was oversight on our part. But next time you can. How about one day we'll sell mishti doi alone? So everybody can come. Okay. So, thank you for coming out and being part of the whole fundraising exercise for the Sant Tulsidas campus. All right. आरती के लिए सब खड़े हो जाइए. कल देखेंगे बोकारो में. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की. गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद वाल्मीकि विज्ञान विशारद. सुख सनकादि शेष रुसारद. बरनी पवन सुत कीरति नीकी.
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी.
गावत वेद पुराण अष्टदश छौ शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस. मुनिजन धन संतन को सर्वस. सार अंश सम्मत सब ही.
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी. आरती श्री रामायण
शम्भु भवानी अरुघट संभव मुनि विज्ञानी व्यास आदि कविवर जब खानी कागभूषुंड गरुड़
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सिरति आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सिरति
कलिमल हरणी विषय रस पीगी सुभग सिंगार मुक्ति जुबती दलन रोग भव मूरियमी की दांत मात सब विधि तुलसी की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सिरति आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सिरति
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय
जय राम मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वजः मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्षं मंगलाय तनो हरि त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम। बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय, श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। नमः पार्वती पतये, हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम तत्सत।
As Swamiji says his Hari Om, this is where we on 101.7 FM say Hari Om and a thank you to all our listeners and all our viewers who joined us on tonight's live broadcast, night 52 of Ramayana 108. Tonight's broadcast came from the Chinmaya Ashram, Calcutta number 1, Macbean Village in Kuva. We say a special thank you to all our corporate sponsors who made tonight's broadcast possible: T.N. Ramnath and Company Limited, The Little Store, Charon's Bookstores, Bidesi Transport Limited, CP's Plumbing and Hardware, Amar and Avinash Supermarket and Variety Store, Sudesh Sanka Hardware, Naranja General Hardware and Construction Company Limited. And we say a special thank you to our sound system engineers tonight, Ravi and Kiran Sound System. We say thank you to everyone who joined us, and we invite you to join us tomorrow night from 6:30 as we continue with live broadcast tomorrow night 53 from the Pranavananda Ashram in Bokaro, Central Trinidad. This is Andy Surju returning you to Master Control and Zana Mohammed as he continues with lovely music until 9 p.m. Sitaram and good night.